going past Dixon Nursery, an old lady walks out of the nursery, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm going to hit this lady, and she is old, and this is not good. So I was like, well, I just had to yeet off the curb.
How you doing, Shug?
I am very good, Daniel. How are you?
I'm excellent. I'm doing well, thank you. How's your week so far?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been very busy. Leading up to putting out my first song ever, which
big
I'm
drop.
very, very excited about.
Yeah.
But it's just been like every day there are emails and meetings and just finalizing everything and taking care of, I'm sure as you know,
Of course.
getting it to a release, just making sure everything's covered. And then we're doing like a launch concert as well. So that on top of it, it's just like, wow.
That's next week, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
I'm
excited.
low-key a part of that.
Yes.
That'll be
Haven't
fun.
actually properly announced that, but
Oh, I think we
yes,
just did though.
we just did.
I'm joining Shug's
Kirklandd
show next week.
will be there as a special guest
Yeah.
at the launch, so at the Abbey, which I'm so excited. It'll be like first time performing live for me,
Yeah.
because I've always performed with you.
That's very
for
true.
your shows,
You've been a
so-
part of the band for a minute now, and now I'm actually stepping
Yeah.
into your live set.
Yeah.
What's going to be
There
different?
we
What
go.
should I bring to this?
Definitely rap, first of all. That doesn't normally happen in my sets.
Yep.
Bleached hair,
Yep.
a nose
Can
piercing,
provide. You're ticking all the boxes.
Height.
Got these fresh nails too, like whatever you need.
better nails than me. My nails. Oh, I don't even want to put them out. That actually grows.
Please keep
right
them off the
now.
table.
I
That's
will.
no one wants to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of things that definitely just don't happen in my set.
Yep.
I think there's swearing in our song too.
It's a cheeky song.
It
We had
is a
that
very cheeky
session.
song.
When would that have been? I think that was around the time we did the sessions in July maybe.
When we first became friends.
Yeah. I ran into you in a Zambreros in Dixon. You were eating a burrito on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Sounds
oh,
about
you're
right.
Lucy Sugerman. Hello. And then we chatted. And then, we had a session. It was lovely. And then I think 2 days before I was doing the first sessions with the band, I was like, hey, we need a vocalist. And you were like so down, which I really appreciated, even though I gave you like a day's notice.
And then I had to read the lyrics off my phone at the session.
Which was totally fine.
It was fine, but I kind of watched that video. I'm like, because I hate that.
But that was such a cool way for all of us to like jam together for the first time and get to fill everything out.
Absolutely.
So I felt like that roughness kind of added to the vibe for me.
Yeah, it was so fun getting to hang out with everyone. It was a really cool experience, especially because obviously your stuff is so different to mine. So I was like, I'm having a boogie instead of being sad piano time.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And getting to, rework those songs for my vocals was lots of fun.
Yeah.
Really cool. So thanks for letting me do that.
It's been lovely
Thanks for
performing
having
with
me
you.
on
It's been
board.
fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Definitely. Now back to the single. You've been in the game how long in total?
Man, well, I started I can't really say 9 because that's like when I was like busking and I just wanted to be Taylor Swift. I think I started looking at it in like a more professional light, probably around 14,
Cool.
13, 14. I started like recording and kind of getting to the Canberra industry and doing more gigs and stuff like that. So
Cool.
yeah, what's that, like 6 years?
6 years. So 6 years you haven't put out an original song yet.
Not properly.
How does it feel? It's about to happen next week.
Yeah, so it's getting properly released into the world on all the streaming services. It's really cool because obviously for a while, people are like, oh, you do music, why can't I listen to your stuff? I'm like,
Nowhere, except for the voice
nowhere.
YouTube videos.
No. Yes. I mean, kind of true though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I guess this project, I've been working on it for 2-3 years.
This particular song?
Yeah, this particular project in
Yeah.
general, just the sound. That
Sure.
song I wrote a year ago. I wrote around my 18th birthday. I remember me and my best friend Ethan drove back from Sydney that night so I could go clubbing for the first time.
And when did you write the song? Around that time after the clubbing?
Before I went to the clubs for the first time.
Right. How was the clubbing experience?
I don't really remember, to be honest, but I was just kind of like, oh yeah, and everyone was like, Lucy's out, because I'm the youngest in my grade, because I'm a year younger than everyone.
Right.
And everyone's like, it's kind of weird that you're here, but you suited. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's a compliment, but okay.
But you killed it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. 18-year-old me was thriving and vibing. I think the song really forecasted what kind of happened in the following few months, but it's fine.
You kissed
You
boys
live
because
and
you were
you
bored?
learn,
Or
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then now I just don't kiss boys. I don't like it.
Mm.
No. Not
Yeah.
for me.
Well, the song's tight. I've obviously heard the song behind the scenes. It's a really dope. It's kind of like is alt pop a fair label?
Yeah, I would say
Indie a little bit as well?
pop.
Yeah.
It's got lots of guitars and like a really driving bass line. I think it's quite different to what people are expecting from me.
I agree. There's a lot of sass and character to it.
I hope people like it. I really hope people like it. We can hear a little preview here and maybe watch the video.
Hell
I think Nick's pulling it up.
Seems like forever since he's been gone, but I could be better.
Yeah, I mean this by the way.
12:59 and pick up my phone.
Good looking group of dudes you got on board for this.
I mean,
very different character types between each of them.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Ali. She scared the hell out of me during that.
Her and Florence were amazing.
Yo, next week?
Next
week, dude.
I'm so excited.
Hell
but yeah, very good looking group of dudes, very good look, just a great looking cast, really.
Yeah.
That was my first ever music video that I've ever dreamt up and been a part of. So that was really, really cool.
Did you and Chris kind of build the idea together? That was your director, Chris?
So it was my idea and like Chris kind of let me have a lot of free reign. And he would just tell me if something wasn't possible, which most of my ideas, like he made happen, which was so sick. And yeah, so we had a great team. My friend Vandulka, which you guys may know as Aya Eves, came along today, and like she's an amazing like creative director and like has her eggs in so many baskets. She's like a makeup artist, set design, styling, creative direction. She was really helpful with that, with really bringing the ideas to the next level. But yeah, Chris was very lovely and very patient with me. And
it was great to work with him.
No, he's incredible and just makes things look so damn good.
Very polished, nice color grading.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Very good.
And he's so humble and just like, we've been working together since 2017.
True.
And this is the first video we ever did. So he does all my photos, all my promo photos.
Cool.
Just an amazing creative. But yeah, it was really cool. And he loved the idea from the get-go, which was really nice.
Sick.
We filmed half of the video and the promo photos in my really good friend Juliet's house, which is like this beautiful 60s or 70s.
Really like it.
Yeah.
Fits her outfit, the vibe as well.
Yeah. It's it was featured in Vogue like a few years ago, apparently, the house. And like
I thought you meant your shoot. I was like,
no,
you're in Vogue?
No, I wish. The house was, and her mum's like really into interior design.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful house. And then we filmed the other half in this amazing cafe called Kita.
Mm-hmm.
In Narrabundah, which it's an amazing family-run place.
Yeah.
It's an after-hours cafe, open 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's like Indo-fusion food. Anyway, I love it. Me and my friends go there all the time because we're all night owls. And they let me, because they're not open during the day, like we could come in and film for the video, which was awesome. They let me just like have free reign, which is so sick. Love them.
You mentioned you've been working with Chris for a couple of years. Was it different working with him on a project for a song compared to just doing shoots? How did that kind of evolve when you wanted to go, this is for boys in particular? Like, how did that change it?
Yeah. Well, I think like it was nice because we were both comfortable with each other, so we could like tell each other when we thought the idea was shit, or we could tell each other, oh, that's not going to work, or I could be like, oh, I want this very comfortably, which I think really helps the video.
100%.
And we understood each other's schedules, and that we're both very, very busy people. And like I'm working 3 jobs. He's like working like a full-time job, doing uni, and so we were very understanding of each other's schedules. And he's just like the nicest human.
He's dope.
So it was great. And he obviously he knew exactly what needed to be done for the video, and like taught me so much about creating music video and all like the logistics. And he wrote out a script. He made a script out of like my weird notes and made it look cool. Cannot speak more highly of that man.
Dope.
It was so much fun.
More videos with him for the future songs?
Absolutely. We're already planning the next
Cool.
single.
Look forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
Hell
Can't say too much, or I'm sure if like for some reason my management find this video, they'll be like, meh.
Yeah. I will say nothing about the next song either, but it's fire.
But you have a music video.
I do.
I'm also in it.
You are also
We're
in
in
it.
each other's music videos.
You have an iconic wine pour in this video.
Oh, what could I say? Nick, you made it look bloody
Killed
good,
it.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Nick for calling that video. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Killing All Three. This was a big project for Nick and I because when COVID hit and I'd made the EP, I originally wanted to do 3 full-scale music videos for each song in the EP, and I brought that to Nick, and Nick was like, no. Which was totally reasonable because it was going to be a lot of work, a lot of investment, which kind of changed the tone of the videos for me because usually I kind of write very like illustrious creative scripts, like the Rise video we did, stupidly creative as like fires and black eyes and barns. And with this, I kind of shifted the whole tone to make something way more minimal. So there's like this story where the first video is literally just me just driving in a car at night. The second one is me on a mountain with a girl at sunrise. And then this third one was the one where we culminate into like a full music video with a full narrative and kind of piece that together. So it was really cool to have the first 2 videos kind of allude to this. And now we're like finishing the story in like a really big way with the biggest song in the project. So I'm keen for that. And here's a preview.
Wait for me to leave, but I can't stay. I ain't really got time, no, I can't play. Then you call me, say you need me in the worst way. Tell you it's forever, then I'm forgetting your birthday. Damn, and I was gone for a minute, but tonight we gon' live it up. And I'm not giving 7 fucks. If your friends say I'm not enough, acting tough, it was probably real till I hear your touch. 7 hits of dopamine, I'm growing cleaner off the rush. I can see it coming over and I know you know it's
show the whole thing.
I feel like we should probably cut it around here. We don't want to give away everything.
We should jump to Lucy's bit, should we?
We could do that. We could do that
just
for sure.
like the little wine pour that I definitely didn't need to be told how to. I knew that I had to do that, but I was like, is there a proper way I should be pouring the wine, bro?
Yeah. No, you killed it.
Oh.
We're close.
Oh.
I think it's a little bit later.
Look at all
Jack
these
Singer.
beautiful people.
We're
You
definitely
also
close.
had a very attractive cast.
There,
Like a
shout out
very
to the fan, man.
attractive
Shout out to
cast.
Gabrielle. Everyone that
Oh
did
my
it
God.
they're lovely. You can see Sam there with his cool shirt. Courtney killed
Everyone
it. Courtney's
had a
acting was
bloody cool
amazing.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Courtney was awesome. Oh, me at the food.
We're just looking for this pour now. It can't be far off.
Me
Oh! Look at the
pouring
hole. Look at the
alcohol.
carry. Do you work in hospo?
I did for
You did.
a few months there.
Yeah, killed it. No, we had a great gang though. They were great people. They brought a
that
good
was so
vibe
much
to it.
fun. It was so lovely meeting everyone. And I guess because it was like a house party scene,
Yeah.
it was like pretty easy. It was just like a normal party, really. Just the music was a bit quieter.
100%. Yeah. And we thought like, because Nick and I were originally going to shoot that at a friend of mine's backyard. That was the idea for that. And then it got rained out, classic Canberra. And then we had to shift the location. And I was like, why don't we just do it in my grandpa's family home? Because the chandeliers, the carpet, like the family photos, it's a really warm aesthetic. Kind of made it a bit more
looked
bougie as well.
So
It's nice. It's
and
nice.
I just walked to the house. I was like, wow, there was so much cool stuff here.
You hadn't been in the house before, had you?
No, I
Yeah.
hadn't.
Been in the pool house studio,
But I
not the
really
house.
think like the minimalist approach, like I just think you guys did such a great job with that, and it was
Yeah.
definitely a case of like less is more.
I agree.
The color grade was beautiful, by the way.
Yo,
Like, the
my
vibes
guy.
were so on.
Yeah.
It looked great. I think aesthetically it was just like phenomenal, and I like
Yeah.
the narrative too.
Thank you.
It's the smiley face note for me. Gets me every time.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from when I wrote that. It just.
I mean, it's like I think it's a nice reference to Nobody.
Interesting call.
Not that you meant to do that, but that's
No,
what I kind of
the car's a
pulled
reference to
from it.
Nobody, actually, low key.
Well, there you go.
Picking up on it. Yeah. But no, I think, I like the story because the story for me is funny because my character, this isn't me, obviously. I clearly think I've done nothing wrong in the video. I've gone up, I've left my girlfriend, gone to spend time with someone else, but not hooked up with them or anything, just like chatted in a car and come back and have like this assault of like, you know, you've done this, and this, which is totally warranted. Courtney's like, you've done terrible things. And I'm like, I don't get it. That's why the smiley face is not a phone number. It's just a smiley face. Like, I'm like, it's nothing really. But I like exploring that balance of like, what is cheating? Because to me, spending like a night with someone in the car not doing anything can be as worse as actually cheating. And I just like found that funny to explore.
It's definitely like emotional cheating.
Yeah, I'm definitely a
think.
dick in the video.
Yeah,
so
no,
that's-
I was about to say, player.
No, but
I don't approve of that behavior, Daniel. If you actually did
Neither
that,
do I. This is all fictional. Sure, God, that's a character I play called Boy.
it's called men.
Yeah.
But you know, beautiful job, and I'm so excited for everyone to see this.
I'm really keen. It's out
I
on
think, like,
Sunday. I'm
yeah.
excited.
Just like how I felt about Too Late coming out, I think this video like really brings it up.
Yeah, you love that song. I appreciate
I
that,
love that song. I love that song so much.
Thank
It's
you.
on my on repeat in Spotify, like one of the top ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be one of my most played this year, like genuinely.
I appreciate
Very
that.
good.
We're looking for a remix guest if you're keen.
Please sign me up. I've said this before. I will do the
100%.
whole second verse. I'd like to rap. Please.
We'd love to hear you rap, Shug. No one's heard that yet.
I'm sure everyone actually. There's this funny cover on YouTube that I privated now, but it's me covering Price Tag by Jessie J and B.O.B. and I do the rap bit.
Whoa.
So keep the price tag.
Can we pull it up real quick?
No,
Is that-
it's on private. Take the cash back. Just give me 6 strings. But it's like I'm 12, so it's like take the
Are you
price
like-
tag and then the cash back. Just
Yep.
give me 6 strings
Yep.
and a half stack, and you can keep
And we
the
can
cards.
stop
leave
there,
me
I
the-
think. That's probably enough.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
next for you?
For me, a whole lot of new music. So basically, well, I mean, first we're finishing off The Love Divide. So that video is coming out on Sunday. But I'm releasing a project that I'm excited about called The Live Divide, which is like a live version of the EP and a few bonus songs. So we're going to release that as like a bundle with the third and final show with the full band, which I'm keen for. And we've got Genesis Owusu playing in that set as well, which
Yeah,
would be cool.
cool.
So releasing that with Bandcamp. They've got this new touring platform they're doing. So we're going to release that with like a bundle of the EP as well. Going to do that, I think, early December after this video comes out, launching some new merch, and then just taking a break to finish off the new music. There's a lot of cool ideas. Some more punk
Yeah.
stuff that I'm working on. It was cool
Yes.
for me to kind of like put this out and just see who reacted to what songs the most. I feel like Too Late's definitely the biggest song on the project, but I got the most DMs about Feel Alive. Like a lot of people got in touch and were like, I'm really feeling something about this song. And it's actually my favorite song on the project too. So it was cool to see that like my fan base and myself were both feeling that track the most. And I guess I've been unpacking what in that song exists that I like so much. And I think it's the punk undertones. I hadn't really done anything like that before. So I'm really keen to push my vocal more in that punk direction, bring in more live instrumentation and continue that melodic style. So that's like the clearest reference of where I'm heading now moving forward, and we'll see. So really,
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to hear that. I've been hearing some of the early demos. Been
You
looking
have?
to get some sneak peeks, and it
Yep.
sounds so sick.
Thank you.
And I think it's a really cool fusion. And I don't think it's like necessarily the most expected thing, but it just like works in my
No.
head. You
Yeah.
going down that track, so
Appreciate
very,
that.
very cool.
Just want to be one-upping what we're doing every time, so we're exploring as much as we
Absolutely.
can.
That's always like the goal, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think bringing the band into the production more, now that we have this like this crazy new live aesthetic, I really want to bring the production up to that level as well.
The band is so good.
You're a part of it, yo. They're all
Yeah,
incredible.
but like, man, you got like some of Canberra's best.
No shit.
So
Victor Rufus,
cool.
Alex Carter, Josh Bates, Tom Fell, Ali Hockinghow, of course.
Also, bless Ali.
Bless Ali. Playing a show tonight. We're going to check out at Blackbird.
Yes.
Shout outs to her.
We're gonna run.
We're going to
We're gonna
scoot.
scooter. We're gonna trolley.
Which is a worry because Shug, I don't know if the viewers know this, has recently injured herself quite horrendously on a scooter.
Yeah, okay, so let
Tore
me
a
tell you this
ligament.
story. I love telling this story. So basically, I love the scooters. I've been a scooter stan since literally the day they were released.
I'm
I
aware
went
of this.
out
Yep.
and I was like riding around the scooter having the best time, and all my friends were like, "Eh, Lucy, like that's so lame." I'm like, "Nah, stuff you." Went out for coffee with my friend on a Monday morning. It was a public holiday, I think.
Yep. Lots of
Had
elderly
coffee.
people around on this public holiday in the streets.
Maybe. Anyway, we thought it'd be funny to scooter from Braddon to Dixon. Haha, so funny. Anyway, and then scooting, having a great time. Got to Dixon Shops. So like, we'll go to High Road. It's gonna be so good.
Great.
I'm going around the corner at around like 20 kilometers per hour. Not necessarily the smartest idea. Going past Dixon Nursery, an old lady walks out of the nursery. And I'm like, oh, crap. I'm going to hit this lady and she is old and this is not good. So I was like, well, I just had to yeet off the curb, hit a car, hit the ground. So I didn't hit the lady.
Yep.
Sacrificed myself.
Yep.
Even though it was definitely my fault for going
Mm.
fast around the corner.
Yep.
And luckily I was wearing my helmet. Everyone should wear their
Safety first, fam.
Yeah, I see so many people going around on scooters without their helmets. And I've heard of so many friends having injuries since then.
Yep. We need a Shug safe.
They should
campaign.
sponsor me.
They should. The respect person now.
I endorse the scooters. I love the scooters, but you got to ride them safely.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I hit the car, hit the ground. I look down, my knee's just like big and swollen.
Yeah.
And then this nice Canadian couple drove me to Dixon walk in, and then all the nurses laughed at me. Couldn't walk properly for like 2 weeks.
Yep. You were limping.
Yeah.
You had a
pretty bad.
brace or a bandage or something,
Yeah,
I remember.
I had to have like major rock tape, like so
Yeah.
I could go places. I still went out for beers that night.
Yeah. I remember putting you on my story, limping around in your little cute pink thing that you were
Yeah.
wearing, the brace or whatever it was. And someone actually replied to my story and was like, oh my God, was this the girl that fell over at Dixon at this time? I was in the circle of people huddling around her. We were so worried for her. And I was like, nah, she's an idiot. Don't worry about it. Like, it's fine.
I just can't believe someone DM'd you about that. Like, what are the
Yeah,
chances? That's
yeah.
a very Canberra thing to happen.
Small world.
Anyway,
But they were concerned.
I love scooters.
Yeah.
How did we get to this conversation?
No idea.
Oh, the gig.
The gig. We'll be riding scooters after this.
We're riding scooter to the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very, very keen to hear new stuff.
Mm.
And
Me
like,
too.
I feel like, 21, hopefully we'll have a lot more chance to do more things.
Yeah. I think
be a
great
lot
things are
more
ahead for you as
open.
well.
Oh, I hope so. I'm super excited. I guess it's like, this is the launch of my project. I'm finally putting out music. I'm finally able to like properly establish myself as an artist. Like, it's been really tricky trying to find ways without releasing music because I wasn't able to.
Yeah, just playing heaps of gigs, right?
For years. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Heaps of gigs, just like collaborating, going to other people's gigs, doing a lot of writing, as you do.
That's great that you've built up your own skill set and your own sound for that long. I feel like that's going to make it a lot. Well, I know it's a lot stronger. I've heard it. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's super dope.
Yeah, no.
So what was the reason that you couldn't release earlier?
Right.
A lot of people probably want to know.
Yeah. So basically, I was on a TV show, a singing TV show in 2017. It was like a really, really cool experience. I was 15, and before you go on the show, you sign off on 5 contracts for recording, publishing, management, merchandising, and something else, can't really remember. And obviously, like, my parents signed that on my behalf, and they were like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go on The Voice." Like, there's no chance, like, because these 5 contracts were for after the show. Like, they could pick you. So they had the option to pick you. And I was like, they're not going to option me. I'm like 12, and everyone here is a better singer than me. I'm just going to vibe. We'll be fine. I ended up being like one of 2 that were optioned. So they got to option the finalists.
You were top 3 in the
top
end?
4.
Top 4, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so they optioned me for recording and publishing with the idea that my publishers were going to A&R me, and then in a couple of years, like, I'd put out music through the record label. And now the issue there was, like, everything I was creating, the record label weren't totally sold on. I didn't really get much feedback, but, record labels are competitive, the music industry is competitive. It just wasn't like the right thing at the right time. But for a while there, it was like a stalemate of like me being like, I'm ready to release this music. And they're like, no. Oh, nah, nah. It was a lot of like, hurry up and wait. And then basically during COVID, when I just had all this spare time, a lot of time to think, and a lot of time to, get my together, really, I was like to them, listen, can I just move labels or can I just opt out of this? And then it was a lot of back and forth emailing, and then I got out of the record deal, but kept my publishing deal because my publishers are great. Definitely like a label deal, something, I'd love to look towards maybe at a later date, but I think because, I'm very early in development of my artist project, I think I'm really happy being independent, kind of being free to explore different things and share what I want at the moment. But that being said, like the whole label deal and the publishing deal, it was a great like gateway into the industry. I met a lot of people. I learned a lot about the industry. It was like a crash course, especially at such a young age. So I'm super, super grateful for that. I'm really happy how everything's worked out. But now I get to like start. And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you're releasing a song, big whoop. But people don't get it. Like it feels so freaking good.
Yeah. And I know you pushed really hard to put the song out now. I know that there was definitely room to like early next year or like plan things out more. But you're like, no, people need this. You need to put this out.
Emotionally, I was like, I have to put it out this year. There was a lot of delays with that and trying to finalize everything. But emotionally, like I was like, I have to put this out. And the distributor I've partnered with, Ditto, they've been like, yep, we love the song. We think you should put it out next year, but we understand we're gonna like go as hard as we can, and we'd love to do your second single as well.
Lovely.
So they've been really helpful with that. I got a manager on board. His name's Rory. He's a bloody legend.
Shout out Rory.
Rory. Oh, I would not have been able to do anything without Rory. Like he really helped me like step it up. So yeah, everyone's been working really hard to get it across the line. I have a great team, so I'm super, super excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why this song? Obviously, you've made quite a few at this point. Why did you choose this one to put out first?
Yeah, so obviously, 2-3 years of not being able to put out music, but I could still write. I was still doing sessions with some really cool producers and writers. I think, so there's a huge range because I would go into a lot of sessions and they'd be like, what's your sound? And I'd be like, I don't know, I'm just vibing. And I really, like, my philosophy was let the song go wherever it goes, like really just don't force anything. And I think given there was such a long time working on this music, it all started naturally kind of forming, and I'd start writing a similar song or like a similar vibe. And I felt like I Want to Kiss Boys Because I'm Bored was a really good middle ground start to the project. It wasn't like too crazy pop, but it wasn't too dark, sad piano. Yeah. It wasn't too depressing. It was a bit more sassy, it was a bit more grown up, and I felt like it was a really nice entry point in which I could go either way with the music I was creating. So like there's a whole story, there's a whole narrative that I have planned.
Awesome.
With all the songs. So I can't really say too much, and I
Sure.
hope this makes sense without giving too much away.
It definitely
But
does.
yeah, I felt like sonically and lyrically and conceptually, it was just like, it was like really the median of everything else. And I felt like it would attract like both kind of audience. I would appreciate both the two sounds that I'm kind of working with at the moment. So yeah, and I think I remember coming out of that session being so excited, and I'm still excited about that song, and I'm still excited about the next song. I'm still excited about the next song, and it's been 1 to 2 years since I've been written those songs, and I still love them. So that's always nice as well.
Dope.
Yeah.
Did you, because I guess my trajectory by comparison, when I first started making music, I was putting it out straight away. I was putting out like a song or two every year sort of thing. So I was very immediate with like finishing songs and putting them out. Did you feel like there was ever a point where you were working on them for so long where you were like, okay, this is like the deadline now and it has to be done by this point so that you're not perfecting it for too long, I guess?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I didn't know what was going to happen with my contract. I didn't know what other people's plans were. And it was kind of dependent on that at that point. I was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to write it and then move on to the next thing.
Cool.
And I think that was nice because I was really able to focus on writing. And it gave me a lot of time to, again, develop my sound and my skills.
And you're not in cycle. You're not pushing releases and doing
absolutely.
marketing.
It came very naturally. And I was just doing what I love. Like songwriting is my favorite thing in the whole world.
Mine too.
It makes
Performing or songwriting for you?
Oh, I think both. I think they kind of go hand in hand for me.
Yeah.
Because I used to write songs to perform them because I wasn't able to, again, put them out.
Right.
And like songwriting is my favorite thing in the world. It also makes me want to bang my head against the wall. But it's like that thing that I just turn to all the time. It's my way of figuring out what my head's doing. It's my way of coping with a lot of things.
Yep.
And getting my thoughts out. It's definitely a huge, huge emotional outlet for me.
Do you approach writing when you're like, say, approaching an idea? Do you have something you want to get off your chest and something you want to explore, or do you tend to write songs with no clear intention and then unpack them afterwards and be like, oh, that's what that meant. That's what I feel this way about that. Like, is it more like post writing, or do you go into it trying to express and explore something in particular?
Think my favorite thing about songwriting is that it happens differently every time for me.
Yeah.
And I'm able to kind of do either. So I Want to Kiss Boys because I'm bored. It was one of those ones where I unpacked it after. Especially because...
Oh, I'm bored. I want to kiss boys.
No, but it's not like that, and you know that. I've had a lot of messages about the song. It's like, oh, is that really what it's called? I'm like, no, you'll get it when it comes out, I promise. I think my favourite thing is that it does happen differently every time. I think lately it's been a lot of unpacking afterwards.
Me too. That's why I asked the question,
Yeah. So when, last year writing, a lot of the time it'd be like sessions. And we'd only have a day to, get a song down and do something. So it would be important to me to come with an idea, come with a concept, and then flesh it out. So a lot of the time when I'm writing in a session, it's not necessarily coming, super easily. It's not necessarily flowing.
Interesting.
I pick a topic and I think of everything I can think of to do with it, and then think of different ways I can say that, different adjectives, different words.
Right.
And then I try to pick out like a really strong word that might represent what I'm trying to write about, and then surround the song around that. That's like my formula when things aren't necessarily flowing.
Okay, it's good. It's okay. Yeah, it's good to have that plan, I guess.
Yeah, do have to turn to craft at a point, even though my favorite type of writing is one where you just kind of like write and you're like, oh, that's cool.
Well, for me, it's feeling driven, just like reading the energy of the person or people you're with.
Yeah, and like I definitely have to write about stuff that I am feeling or stuff I've had an emotional reaction to.
Sure.
But last year when I was doing lots of sessions, I started doing sessions for other people. I did an opera camp at the beginning of this year, like pre-COVID, that we wrote for other people. And
that was in Canberra with Diesel?
Yeah,
was
that was
one?
with Diesel and Brie Clark. It was really, really cool. Met some awesome people in that camp. But we did 3 sessions over 2 days. And like each set, like you did one session for you and the 2 other sessions would be for other people. And I think that was a really cool exercise of that whole craft thing because I was trying to put myself in someone else's shoes. I'm totally going off on a tangent.
Not at all.
Yeah, but I think lately when I've been doing less sessions and we've all had a lot more time to think. It's been a lot more of that subconscious kind of write.
Yeah.
Which I think has been nice.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think like given all the time off, I was really thinking myself to the ground. Like I'd confuse myself in my own brain or overthink a situation or be like unsure of what I was feeling, and so I did a lot of writing about that, and it'd be a song that would take shape over like 2 weeks, and then I'd get to the end of it and be like, that's what that's about, and that's what I'm feeling. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think the like the record label process for you ended up being a pressure that made it harder, and doing these like specific sessions rather than being able to do it whenever you want, but you were like boxed into these times and stuff? Was that a pressure, just having that label connection, do you think?
Yeah. So there was an element of the whole label thing that did feel like a pressure. I think the sessions that were set up by my publisher, which is different from the label, they were kind of like, oh, you're a child, like, just do things. They're like, no one gave me any sort of creative direction at all. I think I was like, they were just like, oh yeah, you can write songs, we'll put you in some sessions, see how you go, kind of thing.
Must have been pretty daunting.
Yeah, it was at first, but I think, like, I have very rarely met any like genuinely mean musicians. Everyone's nice. Everyone gets it. I think one thing I learned and was told when I go into these sessions, like these with people I admire, they'd be like, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Or they'd be like totally normal. Or be like, I don't actually know what the plugin is for this. Oh yeah. And these are like people that make fucking awesome music.
I've had those encounters
which
too.
I just loved. And I think it was nice just getting to know these people on a personal level. So in that sense, the musicians that I worked with, they were like, oh yeah, we'll just like see how the song goes. And it was like really collaborative and really cool. And it was a really amazing space to work with these professionals, to work with these incredible writers, at the same time developing myself when I didn't necessarily know exactly where I was going or what I was doing. And most people were like really accommodating and lovely about that and taught me so much. And a lot of the time would step back and kind of let me take control of the song.
Like Lanks did that, right? With your collaboration.
That was amazing. That was one of my earliest sessions, and that was the session I was most nervous for that week because I'm a huge Lanks fan.
I'm such a huge Spiritual Man, dude.
Spiritual Man
I'm such a fan of him.
Me. And I don't know, that session was just magic, and he just goes to me, this song is like my favorite song in this session I've done in so long. And I was like, that is huge coming from you. Yeah. This is it. I
remember you sent me I think the demo of this for the first time, and I loved the illusions of nature, like the images. That was powerful writing. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Thank you. I was really proud of that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is in Spiritual Man, there's this very clear enunciation Lanks does with his vocal, and I heard it with you when you were announcing your T's and the ends of words as well. And I was wondering if that was like something he guided or if you just did that. See me fanning out over Lanks right now. I'm such a
my old singing teacher. He was very, very big on diction. So I'm very, very big on diction.
Cool.
If I can't hear the words in the song, I just get annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember actually I did a take, and he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like for a demo, I was like, I can't hear my T's. Can I just redo it? He's like, you know what? I appreciate that you said that. Let's redo it. I was like, yeah. So it's funny that you brought that up. I'm glad you noticed.
100%. Because he has a lyric in Spiritual Man. It's like I think the word's back in the chorus, and he goes, and there's like he like holds the word. I've done it recently as well. I've focused on enunciation too.
Well, I think like it's important people can understand what you're saying.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, when you're writing cool lyrics.
Yeah. This was dope, man. This was very good.
Yeah, so I did this with Matt Barnes.
Shout outs, man. Great dude.
Scott Holgate, who did this amazing cinematography. He was so good.
Yeah.
And
this shot's lovely.
Yeah, this one's my favorite shot. And my sister's cello teacher, Jillian Pereira.
True.
Is an incredible cellist. She's actually going to be at the show.
I want to meet her because you know I'm going to play the
lovely.
cello again, right?
She's
That's going to happen.
Lovely. And she just brings this special energy to the song.
Cool.
Where the cello comes in this video gets me every time. But I was super proud of that. I think we did a great job. That was also in Juliet's house where we shot
the Vogue house.
I also shot the I Want to Kiss Boys Because I'm Boys stripped.
Do you just live at Juliet's house?
I actually do. Yeah. They are so good to me. Paul mowed the whole lawn for the stripped video. Like he's like, yeah, it took like 2 days.
I didn't see any lawn in that.
No, for the
sorry.
I Want to Kiss Boys one.
Yeah. I forget it. Yeah, I've seen all this.
Soon.
Very dope.
Excited.
Yeah, that was you had some cool like energy in that video. It was like real cheeky, like shoulder movements and shit. You're like
shoulder movements.
I'm bored.
Oh god.
Yeah, I liked it.
But yeah, I think back to your question. Sorry, totally went on a tangent. in the hot sessions there wasn't pressure, but I think in my mind I was like, I want this record label to like my music and want to put it out, so I was trying to kind of shape it in a certain way, and that was always in the back of my mind. And I was really thinking in like a very industry way, which is like, you know, you got to think about the industry and networking and what sounds are current. Yeah, that goes into it, absolutely. Yeah. But I think for the stage that I am currently, I'm just trying to figure out my that sound and like what I'm doing. It definitely was pressure. It definitely kept me in a box at times.
Yeah. And
it took me a while to kind of dismantle that way of thinking. But I think I'm slowly getting out of that, especially now that I'm like, oh, I can do what I want. Haha.
And you're letting that liberate you in your creative direction, which is sick.
I'm just excited to put music out.
I know. No, in the best way. I know. And that should be the focus. Like you said, it's so easy to get distracted by like the game you have to play as an artist in the industry. Really, the key thing is growth and nurturing your own sound and creative fulfillment. And it's very easy to get distracted by that.
Absolutely. Especially because like, I mean, I'm sure you can agree, like the music industry isn't always the best place. In fact, it's a very easy place to get screwed over. You know, it's very money driven, as most industries are. People have got to make a living. I get it. But, you know, the industry can be really crap. But I think the fact that we all keep doing it and keep on that hustle and keep creating and keep wanting to make it work is a testament to like the power that music has. It's like today I got asked a question by my PR person. They're like, oh yeah, like, do you have anything you do outside of music that we can like, you know, link to maybe like a different angle?
Sure,
we can
you
talk about thing. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't have a personality outside of music. Like I literally don't do anything. I mean, I thought I had to really think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I do this and I do this and I do this. But like, it's such a huge part of my world.
What do you do outside of music?
Well, this year I didn't get to do it, but I really love skiing. And I've been skiing since I was like 4.
No shit.
Yeah.
I would love to take you on the slope sometime.
Okay. No, it's on.
You reckon?
Do you ski?
Absolutely.
Do you board?
Absolutely. I don't board. I ski.
Okay, good. Not the boarders. Do you board?
No.
Yeah.
So much shade.
Get out.
Yeah.
To be honest, snowboarders, like, they look cool until they're just on their bums.
Yeah, and try to stop on a snowboard. Like, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Also,
sorry, Nick,
like,
you're still here.
waiting at the lift. You're just like, come on, guys.
Right? Take your leg off. Yeah, no, that's too much. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, my mother is a beautiful, elegant skier. She used to ski in the 70s. Has like a beautiful stem. Chrissy just flows down the slopes.
My dad is very good.
What isn't your dad good at?
Yeah, my dad's good at everything.
Papa Shug.
So is my mom. Actually, my family are all so much cooler than me. So my dad he races cars and dirt bikes and does his car.
I've seen the Porsche.
Yeah. And my mum's like a downhill mountain biker. My sister does outdoor ed. And my parents go windsurfing all the time. Like they think, they've gone windsurfing tonight actually.
Wow.
They've gone to the coast for a day.
Wow.
And they went on Sunday, Monday. Mum came back for work. Now they're going windsurfing again.
Yeah.
They
work on beehives?
Yeah, they do bees and they have chickens.
I feel like the next time you get asked that question about what are your hobbies, just throw in like all your parents' hobbies and you'll have like an article for days.
I literally don't do it though. I am the black sheep of my family.
Yeah.
They're also outdoorsy. And I love the outdoors, don't get me wrong. I love being outside. Do I like mountain biking and hanging out with chickens? Not really.
Neither do I. That doesn't sound appealing.
Skiing. So I do skiing.
Yep.
I've been really, really getting into yoga lately. Like legitimate yoga, like core strengthening yoga.
Yeah.
I love it. It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
And has really helped with my fitness and my flexibility. What else do I like? I really love fashion. I don't necessarily always have the budget for it, but I really enjoy sustainable fashion and Depop and op shopping and putting together outfits and developing my style and picking out clothes for my friends. I love that.
Yeah, we've had some good finds together actually.
Yeah. Otherwise, all my other things that I do are music related. Like I was talking about how I love graphic design and I do all my design and I designed my merch myself. Like I just do it myself because I didn't have time to get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
And I love art and taking photos and things like that.
Sick.
But that's always been for the purpose of my music project. So
Yeah,
I've never really
stems
done
back
it
to music.
outside of music. But, you know,
Yeah.
I feel very blessed to have a thing that I love to do and I think that drives
too.
my life. Because, like, I don't know, I guess, like, especially during COVID, you know, at least I always had something to do. It's so lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And music will never leave me. That's a very morbid statement. But you know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be there.
Me
It's
too,
like
me
very
too.
consistent,
Yeah, I can't ignore it.
which I rate.
Mm.
And if I'm in a bad mood, just listen to some hype music. Then I'm like, yeah, life's fine, man.
Yeah. Did you find you had like when I guess, I don't know, the COVID moment happened, it was like, oh shit, the year's going like this. Do you feel like you had a moment there where you got more creative all of a sudden?
There was like the first few weeks, I was like,
I think the first week I was like, oh, doing lots of
I
walks.
was like, oh, my government sanctioned daily walk.
yeah.
Say hi to someone on the mountain, and they'd stay away. They'd walk like a 10
Yeah.
meter radius around me. Like, oh yeah, fair enough.
No, I got 2 calls the same day. I lost my hospo job, and then my agent called and was like, hey, like, I'm not an agent. And I'm like, oh shit. So the whole plan for the year just dissolved in a day.
Yeah,
And I was like, whoa.
I remember being in the folk festival office on the Friday when they were the last festival to make it call that they were cancelled because they were coming out really, really
You were
soon.
going to headline that, right?
Yeah, so I was the youth
Damn.
ambassador. I had a bunch of gigs lined up and a bunch of stuff. Like, that was my main income for like the first half of the year.
Yeah.
And I was in the office when they were like trying to make the call to cancel it, and the phone was just going off every 2 seconds. Everyone was like high tension.
Yep.
It was very intense to be around, and I remember like, yeah, everything was getting cancelled. It was just like very surreal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Particularly
10
for
out of
music.
10 did not rate.
Yeah.
But then after a few weeks, I was like, all right, well, I upgraded my studio gear. I started teaching myself a bit more production, which was super fun, and
Cool.
like mixing vocals. And I really had the time to watch the 30-minute long tutorials. And I was like, well, I got nothing else to do.
Mm.
And I cleaned up my desktop and cleaned my room and cleaned all my files. And I sorted out my contracts and my finance just because I was like, I got nothing else to do.
Yep.
I can't put this off now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was actually very productive in that sense. And I think we're very blessed to, well, for me and a lot of my friends and my circumstance, like, you know, I live with my parents, so I didn't really have to worry too much about finances, which I was super, super grateful for.
Yeah.
And like, mum's a chiropractor and they own 2 clinics, and we were able to stay open during that time. Obviously, it was stressful, but you know, I kept working, so I was considered an essential worker. I was a frontline worker. And it was really interesting because, you know, people would come and they'd be like, this is my only outing for the week. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
far out, man.
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
talking to me. That sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was hard. I think it was more hard for me seeing other family members struggle. So my uncle's a pilot, international pilot.
Hey.
And
Still?
obviously, well, no.
Yeah.
And they've had to completely change their life, and now they're working hospitality. They've got a Vietnamese pop-up, and he started brewing beer. But, like, you know, it's still so uncertain. They've got a mortgage and 2 kids to provide for.
Yeah.
And what they thought was going to be their living just... And you hear about, you know, families who just aren't able to be there for proper grieving time. Like,
Yeah.
they're not able to send off family members. And, yeah, I think that was really, really hard to see. And, you know,
Yeah.
like, only one visitor in the hospital. Kind of
That's
thing.
insane.
You forget about that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think it was just, like, I think the nice thing was everyone was kind of, you know, understanding there for each other. Especially here, I think everyone was very, like, we need to band together and sort this shit out. Hit the nail over the head.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's definitely paid off, especially in Canberra.
And now coming back stronger than ever. I
Man,
think.
Canberra's the best place to be in the world right now.
For real.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone be walking around. Where are that? 500 people gatherings outside now?
Apparently. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah. I think it's time to throw a party. Yeah. Yeah. No, we are fortunate
Well,
to
I
be
am
here.
moving out. So.
Yeah. Congrats to you.
Yeah.
What's that happening?
Friday.
Yeah, right.
I
Oh,
don't know who decided it was a good idea to move out in the middle of a pandemic, but
We'll see how it goes for you.
it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I'm curious to see how the creative process goes from here, if it like keeps up or not.
I find when I am away or having to fend for myself, I'm more productive.
Interesting.
When I really have to worry about myself. Like last year when I was going up to Sydney for those sessions, I'd be up in Sydney for like weeks at a time by myself. I was like on it, on the ball, on
Yeah.
top of everything, replying to my emails, keeping up with finances, cooking for myself, being like boom, boom, boom,
Big vibe.
working every day. And then I got home, I'd just be like, ma'am.
Yeah. I always get this energy being in Sydney. It's just like, it's just such a bigger place. There's so much more happening. I always get kind of daunted by that at first. And I'm like, nah, like let's
It's nice
Let's
to be
hustle here.
there, but
It's
it's
beautiful.
always amazing to come home.
definitely.
Like the Canberra music scene and the Canberra creative community, although it is smaller and it's still very much developing. It's been really nice to see it develop over the years. I think my favourite thing about Canberra is that there's not, I haven't really felt it that much, that air of like competitiveness or like you're my competitor.
No.
Everyone wants to show up for each other and everyone wants to see each other do well. It's like if anyone in Canberra does anything, we're like, woo, Canberra!
Exactly,
And I think that's my favourite thing about here. And everyone wants to collaborate with everyone.
Yep.
There's no sense of like, oh, I'm better than you or I'm better than you. Like,
No.
it's a very open and welcome space.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
And there's awareness now, man. Interstate, everyone's like, oh yeah, Canberra. Like there's that tone around it now. Like, yeah.
Yeah. We're coming up.
We've got our own
Watch out,
culture now.
everyone. Absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely. And I think, all the, I like the hospitality industry and the tourism here and like everything, it's really developing. Obviously we're getting more people, but like there's so many great venues and cafes and restaurants and just attractions opening and cultural stuff starting to happen.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah. I would just love to see the broader industry recognize Canberra more personally. I think the talent and the culture here is so unique and so diverse across so many different genres. I would just love to see, the broader industry pay more attention.
Yeah, I really, really hope that starts to happen.
It will.
It'll come one day. And I'd
because
love to
our
be
stuff's just getting
around
too
to
good.
see it.
The music's just getting too good, man.
Yeah. There's so much great stuff coming out of Canberra. I updated my Canberra playlist last night. Yeah, so I have a whole playlist of just Canberra music, and I love sending it to my interstate friends. I'm like, guys, look.
Check
it out. And they're like, wow, this is actually so sick. I thought there were like 3 people in Canberra. I'm like, no. Yeah. I will always be the biggest Canberra advocate.
Absolutely.
And like my Sydney friends are like, I don't want to go to Canberra. Just come to Sydney. I'm like, no, come here. Let me
Be
show
here,
you.
experience it.
And they're like, oh, this is actually kind of cute. I'm like, yeah. We've got a nice lake and lots of trees.
Yep.
Got Questicon.
And dope people working in the music scene behind the doors, man.
Absolutely.
Dan
How
Ballantyne,
good
Joel
are
from Hands
they?
Like Houses doing amazing stuff for us.
They are killing it.
Yeah.
So lucky and grateful to have people like them who are just like the nicest people ever, but also just such huge advocates. It's very
exactly.
cool.
And Joel particularly being an artist and being in a band himself.
Joel does everything.
I know.
Actually, Superman. I admire that man so much.
Me too.
But
it's very inspiring.
We have a session with him. He's like, yeah, man, just chilling, riding the vibe waves. But it's also like the hardest working, most beautiful soul.
Definitely.
But then I like see him all the time just riding his bike around Braddon, just like on his bike, just like, oh yeah, go to Messina, go smoky.
100%. Yeah. And he's put together a writing camp for us actually, which we're doing in a couple of weeks, which I'm pretty sure I can announce. I don't think that's like a thing.
I think so.
Yeah, but basically Joel's put together.
At us if it is.
It's okay. But he's put together this amazing thing, which I think is going to become like a great thing for Canberra in the future, where it's kind of like a I guess you'd say like a mid-tier songwriting camp. Like I feel like there've been plenty for like emerging artists or first-time songwriters, but there's been nothing for people at like I guess an intermediary level looking to like really evolve their songwriting and take it further. So he's provided a space for us in Micalago for like a few days with like just us and producers, engineers. It's gonna be rough spending 3 days with you, but like aside from it, it's gonna be pretty fun, I think.
Wow.
No. Jokes aside, I'm very keen to actually sit down and write with you undistracted.
Shut up.
Okay.
I'm very excited for the writing camp to write with other people
Not
that
me.
I haven't written with before who don't annoy me and don't wear 3 clashing patterns at once.
Wow.
Red nails.
Yeah. You questioned
And
the drip the other
have
day.
presumptuous hair on
Presumptuous?
top of that. Yeah.
How is this presumptuous? Do elaborate.
I don't actually think it's presumptuous just because it's your hair. So
Thank you. So it's presumptuous.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
No, but jokes aside, I'm very, very excited for that. I think it's a really diverse musical range.
Yeah.
There's some amazing writers going. It'll be super fun just getting to know everyone. And I haven't done like a writing camp in a whole year.
Yeah.
So very excited for that. And it's a beautiful property out there too.
I haven't seen it yet.
Joel was showing me photos the other day. It's so nice.
Damn.
I'm very, very excited.
Yep.
And we get fed.
Oh, huge. That's a plus.
Vibes.
And do yoga probably.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell Joel to tell everyone to bring yoga mats.
Good idea.
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah, yoga. I mean, yeah, I've mostly been meditating during COVID, but we've done yoga recently, and I see the potential in it. I like it.
Yeah, see, I don't have the attention span for meditation at all, and I find
will.
yoga.
You'll get it.
One day I'll get there, but yoga for me, because it's something physical, I'm focusing on my body.
Yeah.
I can turn my mind off a lot easier.
It's interesting because I guess I was firstly exploring stillness through, I guess, just stillness itself, like silencing your mind a little bit. Whereas the idea of yoga is that it's a physical trigger to reach that point. It's a very different process to like sitting and meditating and being still mentally, which I like. There's like a lot of tension and release, and it's like, yeah, it gets you to a similar place, but it's a different vibe.
Every time I meditate, I fall asleep.
It's because you take naps all the time. I'm gonna get you into meditation though.
One day,
at the retreat, I'm gonna get you into it. Yeah.
What if I want to talk to people and spend time with people?
Nope. You need to.
This will be like it'll be a large gathering of people. I haven't had heaps of that this year, so nah.
Okay. fair.
Yoga.
Okay.
Group yoga.
I'll just meditate on my own.
Swims in the river. Yeah, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. No, it'll help you a lot creatively. I think there's a lot of benefit to it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I downloaded a meditation app. Actually, I got Calm and doing deep breathing and stuff. But then
Calm is really good. Actually, if there's
Yeah.
anyone watching that wants to start meditating, Calm is great because there's just a breathing exercise, which is like a wind bell chimer that just tells you when to breathe in and out. And you just listen to that in the sound of a rainforest. And that's how I started doing it actually. And my phone died one day and I just went without and then didn't look back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a yoga app, recommend Down Dog.
Yes.
It's amazing, and none of the workouts are my card's on. None of the workouts are ever the same, so they're all randomly generated every time.
Cool.
Which is really cool, and you can set like how long you want the Savasana, which is like the lying down bit at the end, which is my favorite bit. You can change the music, the sound levels, and the voice. And they've done this really cool thing during COVID. Is like they're like, if there's any way, like financially, if you're not able to necessarily afford this subscription, like we're happy to help you out where you can. You just fill in like a little questionnaire. So that's been really cool for me because obviously as a musician, we're not doing that many live gigs and everything's costing a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well,
But we'll
thank you
find
to our
ways.
sponsors.
Yeah.
But I got to let you guys go.
Oh,
You got a gig to.
Oh, we do.
We do have a
oh my
gig.
God, it is
Yeah.
too.
So thank you for coming in.
Cool. Thank you for having us, Nick. Thank
Yeah,
you again for
thank
the
you
work
so
on the
much.
video.
For having us. Sorry that I just talked about yoga for like
No,
the
no,
last
not
10
at all.
minutes.
Keen for your release, man.
Yeah, keen
Very
for
excited.
your video.
Hey.
So excited.
Big vibe.